Hello. It has been a hot minute. Happy New Year. Oh, my goodness. 2022 is complete. We did it. We're here. What a blessing. Super exciting. Today, this evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are as you listen to this, I am going to talk to you about the 5 things to implement to help you achieve multiple 6 figures this year. Now, no matter where you are financially, these things are going to be incredible regardless of how much money you're currently making. So if you're right at the beginning of your journey, then you will be here and you can utilize all the things that I'm about to tell you. If you have just about to hit your 10K months, you can utilize all the things that I'm about to tell you. If you're close to hitting 20K months, 20K, 30K, 40K, you can use all of these things. All of these things. So we're going to dive in. Yay. Number 1 is up-leveling your personal look and business branding. Now, so interesting is because I've talked about this a couple of times on my socials, and I remember this time last year, actually, it would have been, or maybe December 2021, I was a bit like, I don't want to change the way I look. I don't want to have to, look a little bit more presentable. Who are you to tell? Like there was some coaches that I love that were like, you need to improve the way you look. Like you dress to look comfortable. You don't dress to look visually stimulating. It doesn't help all the visual people out there. And I was like, I don't want to, like, I want to be comfortable. I love my hippie dresses. Like, I just want to hide my body. I also didn't love my body as much as I do now and all these things, right? And I really didn't believe that the way you look and the way that you look after the way you look improves your business and the way that people perceive you in business. And I was like, fine, I'm going to try it because these coaches know what they're talking about. I'm actually going to give it a go. So I went and had a fashion person, stylist, that's the word. And they took me on this journey of going through my wardrobe and looking at my body type, and we even went shopping together, and we just went through all the different clothing and the colors that looked great on my skin and my eyes and my hair color and my body shape. And yeah, it just took me and to try on things I would never normally try on and explain the concept of why it looks great on my body. And it made total sense. Like, just as an example, did you know that wearing a V-neck shirt or a V-line shirt makes people believe that you're like 90% more or 80% more in authority by just wearing a V-neck? And the reason why is unconsciously we know structured clothing like V-lines to be suits. And then we also like combine suits with corporate and successful and all the things. So unconsciously we're like, oh, there's a V line or there's structure in the clothing, therefore it reminds you of a suit, therefore someone in a suit means that you're successful, therefore this person is successful. That's what happens unconsciously in our mind. Just by changing your shirt from a V-neck to from any kind of like neckline to a V-neck, I was like, oh my God, that's insane. And having way more structure around your waist, like that creates more structure, which then unconsciously people believe that you are more structured in your life and they want to be like you. It's so fascinating. Like there's so much psychology into the way that you dress. So it actually changed the game for my look, for my business, just by changing my clothing. And if you don't have the funds right now to have someone that take you shopping for clothes, you can easily look on Pinterest for your body type, and you can you can look on Pinterest for your body type, and then you can actually look at clothing that match your body type. So then you can go and look at stores for your body type. Like, it's incredible. So start there. Also, learning about your undertone in your skin will also help you to figure out what colors look great on your skin. P.S. I'm giving all away my secrets. It's so great. Dark colors on your skin, like wearing some form of a dark color, again, creates authority. It's a royalty color. It's a sage color. They're brand archetypes. So wearing dark colors, that actually helps you look like you're more in authority. So that's why I wear a lot of dark green. There's some people wear like really dark blues or dark grays, or even like the crimson reds. Like anything that's like a darker color actually creates this authority piece. It's really, really fascinating. So if you're interested in that stuff, definitely have a look into like Pinterest or Google or YouTube on all the different reasons why to change the way you look, and you get to tweak a couple of things here and there that just creates more structure, which then makes people believe that you are in authority, which is insane. So freaking incredible. And also, I mentioned business branding. It's the same concept, like having the dark colors in my branding. Like I've said this before, but when I changed my branding last year, it ended up being the best cash month I've had to date, which is incredible. And I believe a piece of that is from me changing my branding. It also changed the way I dress. Like I had a photo shoot. I fully up-leveled my visual when it came into my business at that time. And yeah, I just highly recommend it. So have a recheck at your branding, like look into the brand archetypes by Kai Putnam. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just type in brand archetypes like into Google. There's so much stuff. It's very, very fascinating to definitely improve the way you look online and offline. The next one is creating offers that my audience wanted. So at the beginning of the year, last year, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And it's going to be really, really fun. And then I realized there were things that I wanted, which are great. However, I wasn't considering what my audience also wanted. So for an example, I had a lot of people asking way more for business strategy. And at the beginning of last year, I was more focused on mindset. And then I had business strategy, like give me some business strategy, give me some business advice, give me the structure. What are you doing? What are your strategies? How are you doing social media? All that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, there's all these people wanting this from me. I'm going to actually create offers. So that's where I created the program 6 weeks to 6 figures. And that was one of the best programs, like mini courses I've run, and you can still buy the replays now. And if you want that, let me know. Just message me on Instagram and I can send it to you. And so, yeah, I started to actually give products and programs that people were wanting from me, and it changed the game. Like, it actually changed the game. So I paid attention to what people were asking from me, and I created programs from that place. And it just absolutely changed how people bought from me, because when they're like, oh, I actually really want to learn about that, I'm like, oh, is this something that I can teach right now? Yes, it is. I feel like I know enough in this to offer a program in it. Great. Okay, cool. And then I would just tell them that, yes, I'm about to make a program. Do you want it? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Because this is exactly what I'm after. And I want to learn it from you if you know it. And I said, okay, cool. Right. Well, I've made it. And then people bought it. Amazing. Right. Mind you, last year was my first multi-6-figure year. Like, it was my first multi-6-figure year. And I went from like 0 to 800,000 in sales. Wild, right? The next one is I joined a high-level mastermind. Now, I will preface that there is a lot of talk around coaches right now saying, oh, you need to invest in coaches in order to be successful. If you genuinely cannot afford a high-level mastermind right now, and you want to be in a high-level mastermind, that is perfectly okay, and stick to your money goals right now and choose to be in programs or work with coaches one-on-one or whatever that you choose to spend or invest into masterminds or coaches or however you do that. This is more of just what I personally did and something that you can strive for if you want to be in a high-end mastermind. Okay. You can still create success without having a high level mastermind, as in you being in one. I just wanted to preface that, as there's so much talk right now about that whole like gross, you have to invest in yourself in order to be successful. So I joined a high level mastermind, and I'll be honest, it was the first time I've ever joined a mastermind at that level. So I invested, I think it was like 30 grand into a high level mastermind. And at the time I was like, holy Lord, like that's a lot of money. That was almost a third of what I earned that year. Right. And for me personally, it felt in my whole body like the right thing to do. So this is the other thing, is like when you choose to invest in a coach, fully check with yourself, like, am I ready to invest whatever kind of money it is and do the work? Like, I'm here and I'm committed and I'm devoted and I'm going to be consistent, like, rather than just the shiny object of the next personal development thing. Like, I was like, this is the fucking thing that is going to blow the lid off my business and my company. I was fully like aligned with it. And it was one of the best investments I've ever made when it came to my business. And I learned so much from being in a mastermind. And what I believe is great about a mastermind, and even though I'm super introverted, believe it or not, I actually have way more introvert in my chart than extrovert. What I found really great with high level masterminds is being around people that have the same goals as you. Because what I found is I had these like massive goals. I wanted to like 5x my business in a year. And I had no one that was close to me in a friend zone, like friends or even family members that were wanting to get to the goals that I wanted to create for myself. And I was like, well, who do I talk to about this? Like, I can't just go and tell someone like, hey, I was making 10K and I want to like, hit 500K in cash and love to get to 1 million. And this is my goals and blah, blah, blah. And I wonder what it would be like to have a $200,000 sale month, which I did. Like, I just didn't have anyone in my life to have that conversation with. So being in a mastermind where people wanted to have that conversation was so great, like so freaking great, and felt like I finally found my people. Like I feel, so even to this day, I said the best part about what I invested in was me changing tables. Like I changed my table completely by investing that kind of money. And like beyond the strategies, beyond the coaching, beyond anything that I worked on in myself, what actually was the best part was the changing of the tables. Like the people that I've come across and the friends that I now have from investing in myself in that way, like that was worth the $30,000 more than any business strategy, more than any goal that I hit, more than any of that. Like that changed the game for me. I have such beautiful people in my life because of that investment. So when you go, if you choose to be in a community, like if you're investing in a coach and you want to be a part of their community that they're creating, ask the questions of what the culture is like in their community and be a part of the community. Like the community that's created inside Level of Limitless, like that's my lower end program that you can join for $500 a month. That's the program where like the community in there is incredible. Like I could be offline for the weekend to be with my family and I'll come back to hundreds of messages where everyone's like coaching each other and they're like pumping each other up and they're celebrating people and all this kind of stuff. And it's absolutely beautiful. And there's been so many beautiful friendships created by them coming together into this community and helping each other out. And then the same with Magnetic Woman, which is my version of a high level mastermind. The depth and the intimacy and the way that they like emotionally and intellectually hold space for them, like for the other people in the community, in the program, is like absolutely insane. It's just absolutely beautiful, right? So freaking beautiful. And that is the power of any kind of community-based program that you choose to invest in, right? So powerful by the community that you get to tap into. Absolutely insane. So, high level mastermind. The next thing is number 4, delegating more before I was ready. I hired my PA. This is the best investment I have ever done for my company, is hiring a PA or a VA for those that may not have a business right now. A team right now. Delegating more before I was ready. There was so many things that I thought that I could only do and no one else could do for me. And when I actually just decided to give things over to people, I had way more space to make more money. Because here's the thing about delegating, right? You could spend an hour on a landing page on your website and it will drive you absolutely fucking bananas, where you could pay someone, like my VA agency, the hourly rate starts at $25 an hour. So you could pay my VA agency $25 an hour and get the landing page done within 1, maybe 2 hours, depending on like the depth of it, where that 1 to 2 hours could either be with your family, or you could be doing things that actually light you up in your business that will make you more money so you can delegate more. Like, that's how I see delegation. There's so many things that I wanted to do in my business, but I had no idea how to do them, nor did I have the time to do them. So delegating it to someone that knew how to do it and loved doing it gave me the space to then like onboard more clients and give more programs and give more content and do more free stuff and spend time with my family and my friends and myself. Like, it was actually a massive self-love and self-worth piece to be able to hand over a part of my business to somebody else in order to help me with my business, right? Insane. Tina, like, people that are in my programs know who Tina is. And like, they know that how much my business has up leveled since having Tina and how much she's helped me. I also have a beautiful head VA in the Philippines. Her name's Ema, and she's been with me for I think 3.5 years now. And Ema's changed my life when it's come to like the technology. And actually, speaking on Filipino VAs for a quick second, is I think it's so powerful to be able to invest in a Filipino or someone overseas that the hourly rate may seem quite small for those that are in like Australia or UK or America or anything like that. But when you actually do the conversion rate, you realize how much money it actually is for them. And there's been VAs that I've worked with that have had issues with their houses, like they've had holes in their roofs, they've had medical issues, they haven't been able to put food on their plates for their children, all this kind of stuff, but they're great workers and they absolutely love doing the work that they do. And you get to help them create a stable income for their family in what you would class as a third world country in some parts of the country, right? Like, absolutely insane that we get to do that. What an honor it is to be able to help people like that. Like, I've loved watching how financially stable Ema has gotten, and like the growth that she's had with her family and all the beautiful things. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So like, if you can't afford an Australian VA, like, look into Filipino VAs, like, or anyone overseas VAs, like, that seem like a lower hourly rate for you, because that, like, the conversion is actually really, really great for them, and they're getting the same amount of money as like we would normally get for VA work, right? So that's just a piece on delegation, is actually just start delegating, and realize that when you delegate, you're also helping put food on the table of another family that has a strength, like a better strength than you do. Like, they're the strength to your weaknesses in your business. Same as cleaners and all that. Okay, number 5 is integrated my feminine. I rejected my light feminine so much, and I was probably a little bit more in I would class it being my wounded dark feminine. And I talk a lot more about this in my programs, but I realized that I just completely denied my light feminine, completely denied it. I wasn't receiving. I wasn't connecting with women. I wasn't creating sisterhood. I wasn't like, it just was like, meh. There was no surrender. It was go, go all the time. My dark feminine was kind of like chucking a hissy fit, wanting to stir a cauldron and have everything change, but for the place of taking rather than for creating long life changes for people. And so I worked on my feminine a lot, and that really improved the way that I received, the way I showed up in the world, the way I coached people, the way I enjoyed life. Like the feminine is so important, especially in coaching and in sales and in the way that you do your branding and the way that you have conversations with people and just the way you do business. Like the way it shows up in my family, in my relationships, in my friendships, the way I respond to uncomfortable situations. Like the feminine's actually really powerful. And yeah, connecting with that more and integrating it more and healing it just changed the game. Absolutely changed the game. And for those that are like manifesting freaks, the feminine is actually one of the most important parts of manifesting. Like you need your feminine energy in order to manifest 100%. All right. They are my 5 things. So I'm going to just quickly tie them up again, wrap them around. Same thing. So we got number 1, up-leveled my personal look and business branding. Number 2, created offers my audience wanted, joined a high-level mastermind, delegated more before I was ready. I hired my PA. It was the best investment ever. And then I also integrated my feminine. Now, there is a couple of questions that I've been given by the beautiful Freedom Lifestyle group, and I'm going to answer them right now for you, because when you listen to these podcast episodes the week prior, I actually do them live inside my free Facebook group. And so if you want to get on the video and ask questions before the podcast episode's actually out, you can ask the questions. So Bianca has asked, how do you continually debunk all the inner beliefs, and how do you create the discipline and consistency whilst holding the frame to create those results? It's actually quite simple, and some people choose to make it super complicated. And all it is noticing the belief, asking yourself, what would you prefer to believe? And realize that both beliefs exist. Just where your energy is the most is where what comes into fruition. And just writing down, what is it that you want to be disciplined in? What is it that you want to be consistent in? And just do the best you can to be consistent and disciplined in all of it every single day. So I am not perfect. I have a 4-year-old, my husband's at home. I have like an open schedule, and sometimes I don't stick to my schedule. Like I might go, oh, a friend can come over on this day and I can go do this or whatever. So my schedule actually changes quite a bit. And what I do is I just go, okay, cool. So what is the most important things that need to get done every single day? And I will do my very best to make sure that I get most of it done. Or all of it sometimes. Sometimes I'm like an absolute gun and I just get everything done, right? And then sometimes I don't. And the best thing that I do is I just check in with myself at the end of the day and go, cool, like what did I actually accomplish? Like in Level of Limitless, we talk a lot about accomplishments lists. And I say, like, what did I actually accomplish today? And how can I be better tomorrow? Like just continuously keep asking yourself, how can I be better tomorrow? What can I do differently tomorrow? Oh, I've been noticing that I haven't, done this part of my daily ritual. How can I make it happen tomorrow? Like what needs to be tweaked in order for me to do that tomorrow? This happened with my health quite a bit. I noticed that I just had all these reasons and excuses that I created of not showing up for my health. And I was like, right, what do I actually need to do to make this happen? And I just realized I had to wake up a little bit earlier. Like that's actually what needed to happen for me. So I noticed I changed my hours in the evenings. Like sometimes I like to work in the evening because I have overseas clients. So I was like, okay, cool. I get to tweak the way I do business. So then that means I can move my schedule around so I have the capacity to wake up earlier. So then I can have my coffee earlier with my husband, which is a massive non-negotiable for me. And then I get to go do exercise straight after. And this is all going to change again when Atlas goes to school. So I just keep tweaking. I just keep tweaking. I just go, cool. What do I need to change tomorrow? What needs to be better tomorrow? How do I show up differently tomorrow? You know, what did I do great today and what can improve tomorrow? Like I just keep asking myself that over and over. And then I just action what I've said the day before. Like it's that simple. All right. There's a couple more questions. Just going to go do. How is the best way to bring out the feminine? Oh, that's a great question. And the best way is to come back to your body and notice what makes your body move like the ocean. I know that sounds really strange, but when it comes to like the masculine and feminine, and maybe I'll do a podcast episode on this, or I might get a guest in that's like way more on point with this stuff. But how I see the masculine and the feminine is masculine reminds me of like a square. So it's like rigid, stiff, strong kind of energy, like, you know, that you get what I mean, right? And then when I see the feminine, I see like waves, like the ocean. So think about things that would feel like the ocean for you, and that's more of the feminine. So thinking about like singing, dancing, drawing, yoga, those kinds of things, stretching, massages, they're the things that come to my head at the moment. There's also a lot of like behaviors like receiving, which is, again, receiving is like the energy of the waves, right? So just do more things that make you feel like the ocean. Or when you like think about yourself doing it, does it look like waves or does it feel like a square or look like a square? And that will answer your question. I know that's a very odd way to figure out if you're being in your feminine or your masculine. And there's like way more about masculine and feminine than just a box and waves. There's so many like sections of it. Like there's light and dark, then there's the wounded and the unintegrated and all the things, which we can dive into at another time. Yay, this has been so great. So the last thing I wanted to let you guys know is the doors are open for Magnetic Woman. So I mentioned before that I have a high level mastermind. This is only for people that have the capacity and the willingness to soar to multi six figures this year, and they're wanting to invest five digits. 5 digits, is that how many it is? Yeah, it's 12K for 6 months. So if you are someone that wants to soar to multi six figures this year, if you want to grow your business, if you want to learn how I magnetize clients and like effortlessly do this rather than it feeling like super like rigid and stiff and feeling hard and push pull kind of energy, Magnetic Woman is for you. It is the container, and we only have 10 people in at a time. You get to have one-on-one time with me. You get to create that group container. We have in-person events if you're nearby. It's absolutely amazing. It's an incredible program. So I'm really, really excited to relaunch that, and it starts in February. So if you would like more information about that, just message me on Instagram or Facebook and I can have a chat to see if you qualify for the program. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon.